My best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow, I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones and gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. Best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. They gained an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell, stared at death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me for. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend. Inside your self-righteous symphony, I would rather let this go than to bring it up again.
What's up, nerds? Welcome back to the Burly Fishing Podcast. It is Thursday. It is 8 p.m. Eastern, and we are excited to hang out with all of you guys. This is going to be a fun episode. I was joking before the show, but we got James Loduca, aka the Tackle Junkie 81, and we've been working on this show since February, haven't we, James? How you doing, man?
It's been a while. It's been a while. I'm doing great, man. How you guys doing?
Doing awesome, dude. And so James had some technical difficulties for a little while. If you guys didn't see him recently, he's been on shows with like Bass Geek and Debo and all those guys, and he's been back in the game on that live. So we finally got him on with us, and we're pumped about this because we got lots of stuff to talk about. If you don't notice, right behind him there, he's got about 8 billion things of tackle, and I gotta say, I'm hyper impressed by your organization. I'm glad my stuff isn't behind me, and I'm kind of like laughing at Paul's terrible setup.
Well, what you can see here is the only thing organized. Good thing you can't see behind the camera, you know.
Oh, perfect. See, that's all it takes, though. It's like, what, you know, here's the camera shot. Everything else,
Right.
trash. It's fine. I get it. I totally get it.
I'm lucky I can even walk in this room.
That's awesome. So we got, if you guys couldn't guess, tons of stuff to talk about as far as like tackle goes, and that's what I assume you guys love because that's what we talk about on our show all the freaking time. So we're stoked that you guys are hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Of course, be sure to smash a like on this specific video, be subscribed, and then share this live stream right now with all your fishing friends because we want them to come hang out with us too. And yes, I stole that from Debo, but he licensed that term to me. So don't worry, it only costs a casual $1,500 a month, and it's totally worth every single penny to pay for that. So here we are. But again, be sure to subscribe, all that stuff. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, all the places. Thank you to all our members. You guys are fantastic. Paul has been working in the lab on a pretty solid t-shirt for y'all. Hashtag NedRigNerds. So if you are in the Snorlax crew, if you join our YouTube membership in the coming, I'm going to say month. I'm just going to throw a time on it. In the coming month, we're going to finalize this design. We're going to ship it out to his brother to make it prettier. And then, no offense, Paul, your artwork is fantastic that you drew on your kid's chalkboard that you Snapchatted me, by the way. But we're gonna professionalize that, if you don't mind. And then we're going to ship out a shirt to y'all that are on the Snorlax crew. So if you're not on the crew, consider joining. You can click join below right here on YouTube. Watch a little video that I made of what all the memberships are about so you know what you get for being a member. And we appreciate you for supporting the channel. Of course, we got super chats on. So if you want to support the channel more, you can do that. And we're doing a giveaway for you guys. At the end of the episode, we're going to hit James with a lightning round, aka slow rolling thunder. We've renamed it because it's never been fast. Just tons of fun questions for James that he's going to get hit with, and during that time you guys will chat, and then we'll pick a random chat person to win $25 gift card to monsterbass.com, on which you can purchase apparel like this or tons and tons of tackle, including the brand new, did you guys see this, the Mad Max popper? Somebody made us look cool. We're not cool. We're definitely not cool. We're not good at fishing either. But Samuel Moore, bless his heart, made us look freaking cool. So if you guys haven't seen it, go to the Monster Bass channel, check out that video, smash a like on that as well, and share it around as much as you can because Paul did a very good Barry Manilow voice. I don't know if you guys noticed, but his voiceover, chef's kiss. It's fantastic.
I just want to be really clear. I've never done voiceover work in my life.
Nope.
And I did it at about 11 p.m. on my front porch on a quiet night when the crickets were not doing what they normally do.
Your neighbors are like, what is this about treble dressing?
Very lucky that it turned out the way it did. I don't know what audio engineer was like, oh God, here's this crap. But I was actually like, dang, who's that? Oh, that's me.
Yeah, it's a great video. We're super proud of it. I am featured only by face, so we make a dynamic duo here where I'm the face because I'm prettier, apparently, according to Samuel Moore, and then you're the voice because my voice is apparently terrible. So God, it's pretty cool. And then there's also
gotta be the beard.
It's definitely the beard. They're like, flesh beard, real beard, you know. So they went with the real beard, and then we're fine with that. Also, Rudd makes an appearance. We got Ben Nowak in that video. Juicy Drop Shot makes an appearance by hand only. I think he said.
He goes, my hands and my reels. We love
It was a
you.
blast.
Love you, Juicy.
Super fun to film though. You guys definitely go check that out. And I just dropped a short today where we found the sunglasses. So if you guys haven't seen that, we found treasure on the river. But anyways, that's all from me. Let's talk to James. We got a cue of the D to hit him with. Let's do it.
All right, so we're kicking off the show like we always do. The question that you can't get wrong, but you can definitely get less right. The cue of the D, the question of the day. So you kind of got the market cornered. I love the name Tackle Junkie. Like, there's not really a lot of other ways that you could go with that. Like and it matches the content so well. It's
Behind
prime.
you and
It's
in
prime.
front of you, apparently.
It's prime. So I'm gonna present you with a difficult choice. You can either, on one hand, double your current subscriber count, but you have to change your name, or you can lose 25% of your subscriber count, but you can keep Tackle Junkie. Which route are you gonna go?
That's a tough one, but I like my name. I'd have to lose the subs.
Ooh.
Oh! So
I mean,
no gear guru for you?
No, I'm the Tackle Junkie, man. I can't change it.
Dude, well, okay. So on that note, real quick, to add some context here, how long have you been on YouTube?
Gosh, I think I'd have to look it up, but I think 2011.
Oh my
So,
gosh!
yeah,
So
10 years.
you can't just go and change a name after 10 years. You're a decade in.
Exactly right.
Like,
So your wife has been editing these videos for 10 years?
She started the edits in the very beginning, and then for a while, not for a while, maybe for a year or two, I had a buddy of mine in Canada. He was doing the edits, and when he couldn't do it anymore, she took it back over. And like I told you guys, I mean, I'm lucky I know how to turn the computer on. So if it wasn't for her doing it, I would have stopped already years ago, you know. But yeah, she's been doing it a good time.
I wanted to call her out because
That's
we got to
awesome.
see her very briefly. She didn't say a darn thing to us while
She
she was
almost took
fixing
over
the
the podcast.
camera. While she
She
was
almost-
fixing the camera, and I just want to call her out because then we found out she was doing the editing, and then I found out that her family's bringing the farm ponds in the picture and providing access, and I'm like,
so wait, what are
yo,
you doing, James?
what
Like-
exactly is this dude doing right now?
So hang on. So you just press
She's the
record?
backbone.
I mean, to be honest, she even has
Hang on
videos on the channel as well, too. You know, so she does a little bit of everything.
Dude, she's pulling weight.
I tell you what, to be honest, guy, the name Tackle Junkie 81, that came from her too.
Absolutely not.
gosh. So she is 99% owner then, yes? And you're-
Yeah.
she
I'm
lets you
I'm
be in
just a
front of the
pretty
camera.
face.
Yo,
I'm just a
Wow.
pretty face.
The
I'm
truth
not
came out.
clapping because I don't want to ruin everyone's microphone audio experience, but I'm
Right.
clapping hard right now for Mrs. Tackle Junkie. Wow.
Oh, yeah, she's a keeper. It's
So,
kind of funny. I was doing the live stream with Debo and Hank. I guess that was last week. And like I said,
Yep.
she always sets it up because I don't even know how to do that. So
Mhm.
she's setting it up, and they're talking, but she's not in there yet as far as the video goes, but so she can hear them. And they're talking, and they're like, I'm sure the brains of the operation is getting things going because he don't know how to do it, you know. And she can hear them talking. It's just kind of funny that they're making jokes about it. And then there she appears on the screen. But
That
yeah,
is
she's a keeper.
wow. That is insane. I love it.
So wait, hold on. You said that she kind of came up with no. She owns the rights. All
Basically,
of them.
yeah.
The Tackle
She's
Junkie 81. So
Crazy,
where?
yeah.
EO.
so- what is the 81? I mean, TJ, I get that, the Tackle Junkie. I made it that far, good for me. But what about where did 81 and what is that about?
Year I was born, 81.
Oh, that was that easy?
Yeah.
That would have been my first guess.
and it
This
had
is
a
like
nice
easy.
Guess that.
It's got a good ring to it, so I just, I kind of stuck with it.
It does roll off the tongue. And honestly, though, I saw the T-shirts a while back, and the TJ81 T-shirts that actually
Yeah.
looks super slick. Like
Yeah,
if it
those
was
are
just
sweet.
TJ, you'd be like, "Oh, is this a golf FootJoy? What are we dealing with here?" Like, no, the TJ81, it's smooth.
And
And even
you're,
if it was like 83 or it doesn't flow. It's got to be 81, you know.
What a
couldn't
hard
be
agree.
born any other year. And also, your wife probably made that design, correct?
No, she did not.
No.
Actually, my old editor, his buddy made the design.
Oh man, we found one thing that she didn't do.
I know. She's a
Just
slacker,
shoot.
you know.
I know.
She's a slacker.
That was a down year
Why
for
couldn't
sure.
you do this? Why couldn't you do this thing right here? Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I'm not even gonna get into all the other stuff that she does too. So
That's what I'm saying. I feel like we just hit the tip of the iceberg. She just runs
Oh,
a
yeah.
YouTube channel. That's it.
you have,
Literally.
yep.
everything. Paul, do you think we would? What would we do? What would be your vote for Burly fishing?
That was a good. You know, we talked about a couple of other. We have talked about other couple channel names like jokingly.
Did we? What was one example?
Well, I have it stuck in my head as like the wrong way to say it, and then there was like a better way to say it, but it was something about like like a couple, just like being a couple of dads. But I can't remember like what we actually landed on because we were joking about it, and then it was like two dads, and then we're like, well, that's not really what this is. And then it came to like it landed in a better spot. So, but yeah, it was something to that effect, and I don't remember what it was, but it was actually really good. And I remember being like, oh man, that would have really been slick, but that's gone. Like that's not in my memory banks.
See, Rockablades brings up a good point. Nedrig nerds could be an option. I'm just saying, you could double your subscribership, and then we only Nedrig fish. I wouldn't be mad. I'm just saying.
Put me in that box. I don't care.
All right, real quick, we got a big big shout out. Army Outdoors 88N, my friend. Thank you so much for the support. $20 super chat here. What's up, guys? My three favorite YouTubers. This is so awesome. No, you're awesome, sir. Thank you so much, man. And also, feel free to throw a question to TJ81. I'm just saying, man, hit us with it. You got your shot. I hear you're trying to fish with him real soon. Is that true?
I believe in a couple of weeks, yeah. We're trying to work it out.
No, so I fished with him. This was maybe a few weeks back, and if you guys don't know, Ralph fishes with like every YouTuber he gets his like grubby paws on.
Right.
We were talking, we were fishing. He was like, "Dude, I fished with this guy, with this guy." I was like, "Yo, how do you do this?"
Right. He needs his own channel, man.
Dude, exactly.
Right.
Straight up, Army Outdoors. If you don't do this, Ralph, right meow. You need a channel, and you need to just film yourself fishing with YouTubers, and just be like, or whoever, like just fish with every. Obviously, you can get your hand on YouTubers. Go after like freaking real celebrities, not like us fake losers. And so, like try to get like a cool channel there. I mean, it's like the shows like Coffee with comedians or whatever.
Driving with comedians.
Driving
or whatever
with yeah. Those kinds of shows. There you go, dude. You're welcome. I know you don't like being on camera, but deal with it. You've done enough like you know YouTube trips where I know those guys have been filming with you because I was filming with you, and you know James is gonna film with you. So do it. Just do it. There you go.
Hold on, Baskeek just jumped on and he said, "Play the." He said TG. I'm assuming he meant Tackle Junkie 81. 30-second or less bait challenge. What is that?
Challenge. Oh well, I don't know. I guess every time we do a stream and we mention a bait, somehow that bait is like right behind me. I think that's what he's talking about.
Okay, so we get to call
the
it a
joke
bait.
is like every bait's right here on the wall right behind me. It just I don't know what the odds of that is, but whatever bait we talk about, it's right there usually.
Okay, Paul and I are both gonna call out one random bait, and I want to see if it's behind you. Ready? I'm gonna go first. Okay, a Meps Aglia number 3. I win.
You did win.
Let me do a KVD. The KVD. What is it? The 1.5 square bill.
Which color would you like?
Yeah. They got the red. That red craw. That dark red.
Let's take the whole thing down here.
Oh my god.
Would you like 1 or 2?
Oh my god.
Oh god. That's hilarious.
Right. So I broke the game because I gave you a Midwest old school nonsense bait. So my bad. I would only call out weird ones if we were actually playing a game here, but I dig this. I like that you just had that KVD in every color.
That's one of my go-to square bills. Yep.
Love it.
It is a good one.
Awesome.
That is that's in my probably top 5, top 6. Absolutely.
As in you can't go wrong.
Have you guys got your hands on the hard knocks?
Oh yeah.
But have you heard the KVD rattling?
No.
See, there is the original ones that come in yellow packaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And
that's
then Bass Pro has the rattling exclusive, and then they came out with the hard knock. But if you compare it to the KVD rattling, it's not a hard knock. It's more of a, I guess you could call it a soft knock, but it's not nearly as deep as a thud as the rattling. It's more high pitched. So I'm trying to really figure out where they even got that from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I
cool.
might even I might have one right here. Actually, hold on.
Of course he does.
Also,
And Paul's
that's
hitting
right.
up the Google.
Well, Booyah does the hard knocker. I was like, well, wait, who does the hard knocker? That's
Yeah,
Booyah.
you're thinking of something different.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
this one
no.
is
Go ahead.
this one is the rattling from Bass Pro. You hear that?
I hear nothing.
I hear
You
nothing.
can't hear that?
Do it right into the mic.
It's not
Can't hear
picking it up.
It ain't picking it up.
I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, you have to take my word for it. The hard
All
knock
right.
is not a hard knock.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I
I'll
smell
look that up.
an Instagram reel or a YouTube short in your future that is like the hard knock.
All
It's
right.
not a hard knock.
Little soft
Yeah,
tap.
I showed it in one of my latest videos when I was unboxing some
Nice.
stuff. And a lot of guys didn't know about the Bass Pro exclusive. And I'm not sure if that's why they brought out the hard knock to have a rattling everywhere else. But like I said,
Yeah.
it's not near a hard knock.
Well, it's interesting too because like the naming convention like definitely seems backwards. Like if they had just flipped it, it'd be perfect.
Right.
But I kind of wonder because I do know that like, well, I mean, obviously KVD when he says, "Hey, do this," like people just do it, right? I mean, that's the deal that you write up, right? But when with Strike King, I mean that relationship's like even that much closer. So he probably got a hold of the hard knock, which was at the time their hard knock, and he's like, "This is not what I want. I want an actual hard knocker." And they should have made it like a doorbuster or something instead of the rattle, right? Because like if it's obviously that much but like louder.
The lipless one knockers from Strike King. Now to me that's a true one knocker, more of a hard knock. But like I said, the hard knock they got labeled here. I mean, yeah, to me it sounds like a rattle trap kind of high pitch. It's not hard at all.
Maybe even little tinny, maybe.
Somewhat, yeah.
When it might be a tinny rattle. I mean, nothing knocks as hard as what was that? It was is it Evergreen, that crank that we had, the big orange crank?
It was like there was a beer can inside of that thing.
Straight up, there was a can of Bud Light inside of that. It was not quite full. It was like a 3/4 full Bud Light inside of a crankbait. And it was about the crankbait was up. It was big enough to hold a can of Bud Light, I would say.
I caught on
had
it
a straight chamber that was just loose rattling in there. It was the hardest knock I've ever heard in my life.
Love it.
Oh man.
So
who made Debo an admin? What crazy person was like, you know what? Debo gonna be an admin.
Cause here we go.
Yes.
So first of all, like we want to help set the stage, right? For folks who don't know where you are, what you're all about. We're obviously talking to Tackle Junkie, like what 10, 11 years on YouTube at this point. But also where are you fishing out of? Because that's kind of a big deal. It kind of dictates like what you're dealing with seasonality wise, right? And what kind of bass you're looking at.
Yeah, I'm here in the Midwest and in Illinois. And I'd be honest, I've only caught a handful of smallmouth on the river. I mean, and they were probably, I don't know, maybe that big, maybe like 6 inches or so. But
that was with the wide angle he was doing that. So when you saw the little snip, that was the wide angle.
It was really this.
It really was. I was kind of embarrassed to even post a picture, but it was my first smallmouth, so I had to do it. But yeah, mainly for largemouth is what I fish for. Team Dink, there you go.
That's where we live. Welcome to our town.
You got 2 of those, right?
Yeah, I did, but I am sticking both of them on my boat. Nerd, you don't get any.
I love it. That's awesome. That's cool. That's really surprising though, because Indiana rivers, man, they're loaded. Like they're loaded. Smallmouth rivers in Indiana are.
Now you're just gonna make them feel bad. You're just like talking trash now.
No, this is peer pressure. This is peer pressure.
So weird to hear because I'm pretty sure there's only 5-pounders in your rivers.
I'm driving them to the river. That's what we do. Right?
What a jerk.
Absolutely. You're welcome.
Absolutely, I am a jerk.
So how long have you been fishing for though? Like how did fishing start for you? I like to ask that question. It's really good to it helps set the stage a little bit.
I'm sure like most guys, I started fishing with my dad, but it wasn't bass fishing. It was for, catfish mainly, and then we did some pan fishing. But it wasn't until I met my wonderful wife that I started bass fishing because of those ponds that she has out there.
And everything.
Everything revolves around her. Go figure. But yeah, that's where I caught my
Wow.
first bass at those ponds.
I love it.
Oh wow! So you never even like got into bass on accident when you
No.
were looking for catfish?
No, my
That's-
dad was
that means
strictly. Go ahead.
That means your dad was like legit at catching just catfish and
Expert.
panfish. Because like I know
Precision.
Well,
I'd accidentally get
He
into some other
fished
ones.
more for food. Anything he caught, he brought home.
Sure.
So he just wasn't, like I said, he wasn't into the bass. He wanted to eat the catfish and the bluegill and the crappie and all that. So yeah, he did. We just never even went bass fishing. As far as I know, he never even fished or bass beforehand. And like I said, it wasn't until
Wow.
I met her to where I caught my first bass. So yeah, a little over 20-something years, 21 years, something like that.
What was your first bass? What size?
Dude, I don't even know. I would imagine. I think it was pretty small, to be honest with you. But I don't think it was a keeper, from what I can remember.
And you were
Okay.
hooked. You were just like straight up dinks.
I don't
Sweet.
think I was hooked then, but when I first caught my 5-pounder out of there, yeah, then I
Oh
was hooked.
shoot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you got
it hits
if you're-
different.
if you're in the Midwest and you got shots, consistent shots at anything over 3, yeah, you're
Mhm.
gonna get hooked on a bass fish real quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Real quick.
Mhm.
That is
Yeah.
amazing. I love it. So what about the tackle obsession though? Like, cause one of the questions I had, after watching a bunch of videos, I was like, I mean, like the way your brain works, you can tell. Like, you get something in your hands and you're starting to break it down, and you're even before you start using it, you're already thinking about like, how am I going to use this? What are the drawbacks going to be? Like, you kind of go through this. Like, is that something that you like have always been doing, like before it was like a bass fishing thing, or is that like new, like as part of the fishing kind of obsession? Which if you're on YouTube, you're obsessed. There's no way around it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been obsessed with the tackle just as much as catching bass for, like I said, for the last 20-something years. I mean, I don't know. I guess with the tackle, I mean, it's something that you can do all the time. To where
Yeah.
when you freeze or whatever, I mean, obviously you can't fish, but you can mess with your tackle. You can organize your tackle and things like that. So I guess I've just taken a liking to all of it, even like cleaning reels. I mean, I really enjoy tearing down reels and all that. So I mean, seeing how I can make them better than stock, or if I can make them smoother or cast better or whatever. So, I mean, I'm a bit OCD, but like I said, if I'm not bass fishing, I'd rather be messing with the tackle and the gear.
feel
It's
like
just
that's-
it's a good pastime.
Oh, for sure. That's like straight up a Midwest thing. It's like anytime we hit that freeze, like you said, and it becomes winter, and like our friends down south are still catching fish, and we're
They're
up here,
catching
like,
bigs. That's when
Yeah.
they're doing work.
Oh, I know.
catch
Yeah.
catch freaking tanks, and we're just like, okay, and we go out to the pond and it's completely frozen over, and we're like, even if it's not frozen over, they're not biting, they're just
Right.
done. So
Oh,
yeah, I 100%. I would say the same for us. Like, I started getting really in past couple of years, digging into tackle, and like the winter, that's when you straight up nerd out to reset all your tackle boxes, everything. I think I saw you like this winter, you got like all those edges, you're just
Oh,
just like blowing out the whole tackle setup. Like,
Right.
dude, that's a blast. It's
be
so
honest,
much fun.
I never even wanted to get into fishing videos.
Yeah.
How I looked at it was, my time on the water was kind of like my time. I just wanted to fish. You
Sacred
got to
time.
think by the time you set the cameras up and the mics and changing batteries, it's like, I mean, it really cuts into the fishing time.
That's
But
Paul.
of course, you listen to all the guys. Oh, you can't have all this tackle and not have fishing videos, and then nobody wants to believe you when you do a review because you didn't show them or whatever. So if
Yeah.
it wasn't for comments like that, I never would have done fishing videos, just because I'm more into the tackle and fishing on my own.
So you
But-
succumb to peer pressure, is what we're saying.
Basically, yeah. Basically, I
My
did.
tactic is gonna work, is what you're saying. So you're gonna be in the river shortly.
Yeah, exactly. Peer
Possibility. That is a
pressure.
possibility.
Peer pressure going down. Yeah, Paul's like the same way. So when we first started filming, like, Paul would complain the entire time, and now Paul is the one saying, we need that picture, and can you just like stay there for a second, and also we should record this B-roll, and also let me dunk your camera underwater. And I'm like, dude, can we fish? Like, so
Right,
it completely flipped.
I know. Right.
Well-
And that's kind of how one of my buddies is when I fish with him. He's just like that, trying to get all the shots. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. I just want to fish.
Dude, that's
I
why we
get-
call him Camera Guy Paul.
Right.
I get ridiculous amount of anxiety rolling up to the spot though. Like, and that has not gone
Yep.
away. Like, when I pull up, I am like, I know that I have to do like 1,600 things before I even get to start pedaling out. and I've already thought about where I'm going to go on that piece of water. I've already thought about where the fish are going to be. I've already thought about what I want to start using and start figuring out what's going on in the water. I've already done all that, and I've been thinking about the whole way. And I'm all jacked up from listening to metal, like rolling down the ramp. And I'm like, let's do this.
Right.
And then you do not get to do that. I'm going to be clear.
no.
You do not get to do that for 45 minutes.
Right.
And
Oh, yeah.
I have so much anxiety for that whole 45 minutes. It's silly.
And I never do any of that. Whatever's tied on is tied on. I don't prepare at all. I just roll up to the ramp 15 minutes late following Paul, not blaring metal music, but blaring Mozart. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what I listen to. I'm listening to a podcast coming up.
No, can't do that. But
Let's
Basky just said
go.
the same thing. He goes, I knew I got to get to like 45 minutes early to like shoot and set up gear. And dude, that's what it is,
Yep.
man. It's legitimately that much time. And
but also sorry, Bass Geek, because now you're doing TikToks and YouTube shorts. So we peer pressured you too.
Welcome to the show.
We peer pressure the world.
Yeah. We're gonna make you do something you don't want to do. This will be fun.
That's like, bro.
So are you like that with other stuff? Like, let's say you get like a new. Well, I don't. That's a bad example. Let's say you get like. Let's say you get a new like space heater, or you get like something new for the garage, or something new for the house, or I'm trying to think of some like other thing that you might like get. Let's say you get a new grill, right?
I'm like, where are you
like,
going with this?
Are you tackle junkying out on that grill? Like, are you like reading all the
Space
specs?
heater
Are
junkie.
you trying to get the best one? Are you like tricking it out so that like your pellet smoker is now a cold smoke? Like, are you doing all that too, or is
Whoa.
it just with the fishing stuff?
The only thing I've ever really
Traeger
been,
junkie.
the only thing I've ever really been into as much as fishing is car stereos. You know, I was really into that. I competed with that, and that was fun.
Oh,
Nice.
Well, these weren't like big time shows. These were just more local derbies that the stereo shop in town did. But
okay.
I took that
But what does
really
that entail?
serious.
I don't know what
Yeah.
that means.
Define
You have to go back.
You can't just roll on from like
I casually compete in car stereos. I do not know what that means. How
what does that
you,
even mean?
Yeah, what
Well,
is
I mean,
that?
I'm sure you've drove around and you hear all the booming coming from the cars, right? All the
Yeah.
bass,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the tournament or the show would be just how loud can you get your stereo, and they put microphones in there and all that. And the most I think I've ever hit was 156 decibels. I mean, I couldn't keep my rear view on my car, and like even when you would talk, there was so much pressure in the car, your voice wouldn't come out. I mean, it's how loud it was. Yeah, when we
just killing people. It's just stopping pacemakers.
Lungs collapsed.
Oh, dude, it was stupid loud. I mean, I remember when we hooked it up.
God.
Well, one of my buddies hooked up one of my last systems, and it was so loud that we actually were popping light bulbs in the building. I mean, it was.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty stupid loud. Yeah.
They were measuring decibels. This is absurd.
And it's crazy. Once you max out, like I maxed out about 156 decimals. Once you're there, the only way to get like another 3 decimals is to double your power or double your subs. So I mean, once you're maxed, dude, it's expensive to get an additional 3 decimals. But I mean, I had one of my last systems was in a Camaro. Dude, that car rattled so damn bad.
What Camaro? What Camaro? We're talking like a 2000 Go, like real. Oh yeah,
2000 Z28.
Wow.
And I had four 12s in there, running 1800 watts to power to them, dude. It was awesome. I miss it. Then I got married and all that kind of stuff went away. But you think fishing's expensive, dude? Get into car stereos.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna ask because like I love my truck. I have a nice truck. Actually, you drive a Ram, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I also drive a Ram, and I love it. But that stereo, once you hit 26, like it goes to 32, but between 26 and 32, it's all the same. It's all the same volume,
Right.
and it's not that loud. It really bothers me because I had a system in my little Acura Integra, and that thing bumped. I had 2 10s, and I loved it. Like I kind of want to put like a stereo in my truck because it's really bugging me that everyone can't listen to what I'm listening to when I roll up.
Is it really
I've always
bugging
said if
you?
you get one sub, that's kind of for yourself. But if you get like 2, 3, or 4, then that's for everyone.
I just need one
There
for
you
me.
go.
I just need one to like fit in like the back where the tire would go.
We gotta share it with all of downtown Chelsea, who's gonna be super stoked about hearing that. I want to point this out because Tackle Junkie does not have his chat up, so because we didn't want to overload his computer, his wife is not
Computer
next to
my
him
brain,
reading chats. But Devo just said,
Yes,
Jim asked his wife to marry him with the stereo on, so she couldn't say no.
That's a good one.
Literally. She's like screaming no, but nothing's coming out.
It's funny. Her mom always makes jokes that she would always tell my wife when she got about 5 minutes because that's when she could hear me coming down the road.
Oh
Dude,
my gosh.
it was crazy
might-
loud.
I might reach out to you and be like, look, here's how much cash I got. I want to listen to music loud, but not so loud that the cops will follow me around.
You just want
I
to
had
roll up to the
I had my
ramp.
share of tickets, yeah.
Ah, dude,
Just-
I want that so bad. You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you have the same thing?
Like
What's up?
that.
You have the same issue with your RAM where like it's loud, but it doesn't bump. It's not great.
Yeah, it ain't. I mean, it's decent, but it ain't. Yeah, it ain't bumping.
No, I want to be
Man.
very clear. I love that truck. I'm owning this truck. Like I love it. But yeah, it doesn't a little more.
Yeah, it needs a couple tabs in there.
Thank you.
I don't really have that issue with my Silverado, bro. So I'm just saying.
Bessie,
Yeah, I would. Even my car, I put strobe lights in my vents. I mean, we cut out the word Camaro on my bumper, put neons behind it. I mean, pretty much everything I used to do with cars, I decked out, and
I
that's kind of why.
I
like
do
that a
that with
lot.
fishing.
All right, yeah, let's get back to fishing. All right, we've gone on a tangent.
We have fallen down said rabbit hole. Let's climb back out.
So I got a question though. Like you have
Do you have a question? That's what this show is about.
you have a significant amount of tackle. Where exactly are you storing it all? Like, is this in your garage? Is it in your basement? Like, I see one wall with a door.
Where are we right now?
That's not that helpful. Where am I? Where is Tackle Junkie right now?
Yeah, we are in the basement.
Oh man, how
The
big
man
is your
behind my
how
own
big?
heart.
How big?
Well,
How big is your basement?
it's a split level, so there's only this room here, and then the room behind me is my son's bedroom, and then
Yep.
obviously the garage is kind of under the house, but it's a pretty decent
So-
sized room. I mean, I could probably turn the camera here.
Oh.
What?
No. Bro, I think you need more room. Maybe you should get rid of your son's bedroom.
Hold on a
You're
minute.
gonna need
How,
that.
how many rods are actually in those racks? I see 5 racks.
50,
I'm looking at
56,
70 rods.
60,
You better guess again.
75,
Don't tell me the real number.
80, 85,
Oh.
90, 110.
I don't think it's quite 110. I'm sure it's every bit over 90 though. I guess really, if you count what's in the boat, yeah, we're 110.
Oh man! All right. Well, we're a freaking joke, Paul. Go home. Turn it off.
Why am I
Shut it
playing?
down, Chops. Shut it down.
This is
No,
why I
we're not
can't be
gonna-
this is why I can't be gear guru. I can't even.
No,
like,
you
I'm
can't
not
be
even.
Gear Guru.
That's why I
That's-
can't change my name. It's Tackle Junkie Fits. You know?
But like much like Pokemon evolution, like your Tackle Junkie evolution would be Gear Guru. That would be like your peak evolution. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you
Well,
could be.
Fall off the tongue though, you know.
It does.
Alliteration. Alliteration plays. At least for this guy right here. Funny, dude. So
Everybody
wait,
in chat is about to lose their freaking minds, by the way, on how many combos
Yeah.
that is.
it's silly.
Uh,
Going along with that, how many Plano edges do you own?
Wait, let's play the guessing game again. 50.
I don't think it's quite 50. I think it's like
Okay,
44.
35.
Something like that, yeah. 40s, 50s.
How many of them are full?
To be fair, I did work with Plano, so
Yeah, it doesn't matter. How many of them are full?
probably 15, 18.
Jeez,
Okay.
Well, I mean, they
Okay.
probably would have been. I mean, my plan was to get everything all loaded up, but you know how it is. You're doing all that in wintertime, then fishing starts. You didn't get things done, so now you're just throwing it in the boat or your bag or whatever. So I mean, eventually I'll get more and more of them loaded up. But when fishing's here, I want to fish, not organized tackle. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the primary goal for sure. Fish in the Southeast would like to. Well, yeah, Fish in the Southeast would like to know when you're opening your own tackle store. He's just curious. He's asking for a friend.
Probably could, that's for sure. If I even showed you guys what was behind that wall, you probably wouldn't believe me.
Wait. My question: where were you to bail out the mom and pop fishing stores when tackle supplies were down? Where is Tackle Junkie? Whereas all these stores were just like, oh man, I'm so sorry, we're out of jackhammers.
It must have been out of hooks forever. I guess they're all on my wall.
we're all out of EWGs in a 4-aught. Let me just call my buddy up. Tackle Junkie, help us.
So, I mean, I think we need to go back to Mrs. Tackle Junkie, because like how are we even making this like a possibility? Like, what does your tackle warehouse order look like? Like, do you just have like a standing credit? Or are you just like, Tackle Junkie here to place my standard order of whatever you have? And this would be like this would be like the no. You heard me say I want a lot of eggs. I said I want all of the eggs that you have. This is that scenario. No. You heard me say I want all of your jigs. I want all of the jigs that you have.
I've made some pretty beefy orders in my time. I'll say that.
Oh man.
That is okay. So let me ask you this: as a frequent purchaser of baits. Like, where do you actually go to look for baits? Like, if you're going to go look for something very specific, what's like your hierarchy of like places that you go to look? Because I know I have mine, and it's not very good, and I'm not happy with it. So, like, what is Tackle Junkies like? I need a striking, rage tail, whatever, in this color. Where are you going?
I mean, I'm sure Tackle Warehouse would be one of them. Tackle Inc. would be another one. There's a couple other ones. I'm trying to think of the names, to be honest with you. A lot of stuff, to be honest, if I know specifically what I want, I'll just Google it. But as far as places that I'll go to shop, usually, like I said, Tackle Warehouse, Tackle Inc. or Carl's.
You got like that Amazon Alexa, just like auto order. Alexa's just like, it's time for you to place your order for striking
$6,000 worth of net ochos, please.
You're out of net ochos. I'm sure that's what he's going for.
I don't even think, to be honest, I even have a net ocho.
There you go. I know, exactly.
That's because you're not fishing in the river.
You're like, that's where you're wrong, Jeff Bezos. Jeffrey Bezos, you don't know anything about me. I thought you were supposed to know everything about me. This is ridiculous.
Well, see, he knew this show was coming up, and I was going to peer pressure you to go to the river. So now he's like, you know what you need is a whole bunch of net ochos.
Here's the deal, Jim. You need to fish Ned rigs if you want to smack all those smallies that you're not smacking right now.
And then Justin's at home like...
Wow, I need to get on my Ned rig game. I don't fish it all that much.
So I love when people say Ned rig game. First of all, because I appreciate the thought that there is a game to the Ned rig, but I feel like it's just a dumb rig that just works. And everybody's like, "How do you catch all the fish on this thing?" And I'm just like,
I would not say that that's true. I think that and this kind of gets into where I kind of wanted to go. So there are certain baits that that you pick up and you just gravitate towards because it fits like your style of fishing, right?
It's a confidence bait.
Oh, sure.
Well, because you catch all the fish on it.
But it becomes that because you pick it up and it's just natural to you. It's like the way that you fit. Like you pick up a crankbait. And if you're not a big hook setter and you're just kind of like, oh, I think I got a bite there. Like, yeah, you're a crankbait guy. Like, you're just going to fish crankbaits well because that's how you fish. If you're
But I feel like that takes more skill, just to be fair here, than Ned rigging. Because, I mean, we're talking about a bait that largely lives on dead sticking. Put it there, let it sit. But, I mean, yes, there are different techniques that you could use with it.
But there are people who are going to pick up, who are going to look at that Ned rig.
You have to look at the world's dumbest bait, and you have to be like, "This is gonna work." You do have to do that. So I mean, I feel like the most difficult thing to do with the Ned rig is to look at it and be like, "This little 2.5-inch worm is definitely gonna catch fish," and then you just go.
And especially if I do nothing.
Especially if I don't move at all. Think
But
about
that's
what
not,
you're saying, though.
exactly, and that is my exact point. It's like
but I also
you're saying that like it's so easy, and it's not that the motion is complicated. It's not complicated to fish crankbait.
it's
You
100%
throw
like
it out and you pull it back. It's not difficult to do, but like there's a lot more nuance
against
to it
the
than that.
grain. It's against the grain. It's against to be fair, people that have been fishing for much longer than we have, like you've got a skill, right, James, that you've fished many other baits that you have much more confidence with, and you have much more skill than we aggressively average anglers have. So it's very hard for you to be like, this little thing, sure, and then throw it out there and then like not do anything with it. So I totally get it. Like whenever I talk to anglers, I'm like, Ned rig? They're like, I hate that thing. I'm like, you've been fishing way longer than me? I get it. I totally get it.
But I hate finesse. It's not my style. I rather have the troll motor on high and just cruising the banks, and just reaction baits is the way I really like to fish.
We
Even if
came
you
up
told
with,
me here, if I give you this bait, you catch 5-pounder, or I can crank all day and catch 2-pounders, I'd rather just crank.
you're gonna crank. No,
Yeah.
100%. And we hear that all the time, which is why we came up with subtly aggressive, which is how we fish the Ned rig, which is subtly aggressive. Like I will straight up put it heavier than most people will put it. I do love ultralight fishing, but like I will fish like a 1/6 ounce Ned rig or a 1/4 ounce Ned rig, and I'll just like pitch it up in the weeds, in lay downs in the wood, like anywhere that looks like nobody else would Ned rig here. And I'll do it with the EWG Ned, which is what I know Debo is just making a whole bunch of, which looked fantastic. And like just fish it really aggressively. So like I do a lot more with my Ned rig than I think most guys will do. Like
I would consider taking a little Ned Ocho and threading that on my treble hook as I'm cranking. I would do that.
First
Would
of
that
all,
be the same? What would we call that?
That would
Love
be
that idea.
unsubtly aggressive, aggressively aggressive.
that is a dingleberry. That's what we would call that. It's a crankbait dingleberry. That's what we call that right there.
That'd be my next video. I'm gonna try that.
I was about to say, I got a video idea for you.
Right.
Heck yeah, dude! It's definitely gonna bang. It's gonna work. The other way that we really like to do it, if you want to be more aggressive, is a tiny child rig, which is like you flip it, you EWG rig it, right, weedless, and then you throw a nail weight in the tail of it, and then you can throw it in like in the river. That's really good. So you throw it anywhere you want, and it doesn't get hung up at all. And again, if you want to catch smallies. Just saying, maybe try this little known color from Z-Man called Copper Truce. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you want to try a color, like go Z-Man, Copper Truce. I don't believe that they make any other colors than that. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure they don't. It's the only one there is. So just try that one.
Shot.
All right, cool.
If you wanted to go catch big smallmouth in the river, that's
In the river?
probably the way to do it in the
And,
river, specifically in the river.
It's universal. It works everywhere. I'm saying.
Actually, the biggest smallmouth I caught this year may have actually been on a crankbait.
Oh yeah.
Well, mine was on a Ned in Copper Truce, so whatever.
Mine, I think the other one was on. Well, I think that was on a donkey tail actually.
Donkey tails have been smacking this year too.
That is a cheat
Shout
code.
outs to this guy, Online Outdoorsman.
Cheat code. That is a cheat code. It's a fun code. All right. Anyways.
All right. No more
this
Ned rig talk.
So it leads really nicely, segues very nicely into one of my questions was in your opinion, yeah, it does. In your opinion, do you think it's more about how well someone fishes like a bait, right? Like, so like you got your confidence bait, you got your little package that you live in, like cranking on the banks and throwing top water on the banks, right? Like that's your deal. Is it how good you are at doing that determines whether or not you're going to be successful in the water? Or is it like the dude who's like, I can fish anything, but I'm really good at picking the right bait for this situation, and I'm always picking the right bait for this situation? Like which one of those do you think it is more than the other?
I mean, I think the right bait for the situation does play a huge role, but I also think, having confidence in a lure plays just as big of a role. Because, I mean, I'm confident enough. I mean, well, this doesn't always pan out, but I feel like I'm confident enough in a square bill or a crankbait or even a spinnerbait to where if I know fish are in an area that I feel I can catch them on it, but maybe I should be throwing a shaky head, but I know I can catch them on that moving bait.
Jeff, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll give you an example from like the other day. Like I totally agree. I think I hit the water, and much like normally, I don't plan for anything. So I was there with like the most I planned was like I'm fishing ultralights today, and then I hit the water, and then the wind was just busting like 12 miles an hour, and I was like, okay, cool, great day for ultralights. So I busted out my BFS and I threw on the mini chatterbait, which I was telling you before the show, like I was smacking them on this thing. So I was like, it's windy, chatterbait, cool. And like played to the conditions, and I went up shallower to wherever the wind was pushing up, like bait fish. So like just knowing, like in my head, typically on a windy day I find fish here. So I just went there. They were there and they were chomping, and they just started hitting this thing. And it's like slightly stained water, so I throw a white and chartreuse, which I'm sure Debo can confirm is his favorite like spinnerbait color and chatterbait color. So white and chartreuse chatterbait. And I threw the copper truce trick shots on as a trailer, and it freaking banged. They were crushing it. Got short struck a bunch of times, so I trimmed the trailer. Boom, there you go. So it's just like kind of learning from what the fish are doing and like playing the situation 100%. Like if you know, if you learn, so Rudd way back in the day, we had Rudd on the podcast, right? Let's talk about just like acquiring that information and like putting the puzzle together. Which I've always like latched onto that mindset. So it's like, okay, what have I learned in the past? What works now? And then like just apply all that and put it all together. And yeah, it made all the difference. So what did I fish all day? The mini chatterbait on the BFS, and like caught fish all day on it. And what happened was the wind would die down. And as soon as it died down, I would throw the brand new horsefly from Mule Fishing on my ultralight, because now I can cast it because it's on a 1/32 ounce jig. So I was like, well, just huck this out because I can actually cast it now when there's no wind. And I would catch fish on that. And then the wind would pick back up, go back to the chatterbait. And like, it's awesome to have days like that where you just like get it. But obviously there's other days where you're just like, I can't, I literally, I have no idea what these fish want.
But it's interesting that you say that, because you'll walk into a situation where it's going to be like a jerkbait only day. And what will you do?
Throw a jerkbait?
No. Bullshit.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know where you're going.
You're gonna be reaching for copper truce. Like you'll.
For sure.
Yeah, and you will catch fish.
Mm-hmm. But
right, like, and I guess that's my point. Like, there's this like weird balance.
Why though? Because the jerkbait typically catch fish on the pause, and the Ned rig.
No. You're mistaking my point. It doesn't matter what the other bait was. Buzzbait day. It's a buzzbait day.
You put those two together,
right? Like you could be in almost any situation, and one of the first things you're going to reach for is a Ned rig. Because
I didn't throw the Ned rig at all this day.
Okay, you're really not
blowing your mind.
You see what I'm saying, right?
Your
like
point is terrible.
You're taking a generalization. You're making one specific day about it. Like you're gonna, if crankbaits are your thing, you're gonna grab a crankbait first, and you're gonna try and make that work, right? And you're probably going to have some success.
I would say you're always gonna have a confidence rod, or in Tackle Junkie's case, 47 confidence rods on deck at one time, all tied with square bills.
All different color square bills.
all KVD 1.5s. Full spectrum of rattles, just every rattle you got, every color you got. It's fine. But yeah, no, I get where you're going. Totally agree. I always have a Ned rig tied on to one of the combos on my Hobie whenever I get that boat back. Eventually.
Yeah. I think, well, so Debo says, he goes, I feel like your confidence bait is like going all in on red. It's going to pay off big or be a complete bust. Learning what to throw and when to throw will generally catch more fish, but you may not have as much fun.
I agree with that, yeah.
I think I always have a blast on a shark deuce, so...
That doesn't work the way you said it.
Always blasting that shark deuce.
I'm having a blast when I'm having a shark deuce.
I'm always blasting that shark deuce, you know.
That's where you're right, bro, Chacho.
And that is where you're right, bro, Chacho.
Because I think it's interesting. You look at a lot of these like pro fishermen, right? Like like KVD, right? He'll be throwing a square bill or a deep diving crankbait when maybe everyone else is throwing deep jigs, right, or drop shotting or whatever, and he will just light them up, right? And you see it a lot with a lot of folks, like they have their own skill set and they're making it work, and when maybe it's like the third or fifth option, right, from than what the textbook would say, you know.
Yeah.
And I think we've all had those days. Like, I know I've been in situations where I'm like, look, I'm looking at a situation where X should work, and then Jeff will go and beat him up on Y.
Ned, right?
No, anything, but like it happens, right?
Yeah, Chartreuse.
Yeah.
Let's
And
blow him up on Chartreuse.
And all come on, and all of a sudden it's like I do feel like, you know, I do feel like there are baits where you're like, I can go catch a fish today doing this. Like, and maybe it's not, you know, I don't know. Maybe you are missing fish, or maybe you're not. I really don't know. It's an interesting question because I find myself like, you know, like I have all this tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I have 10% of what Tackle Junkie has. I'm rich, right? Basically.
4%.
And
don't overestimate yourself.
Exactly. And I find myself, except for the days where I'm specifically going to go fish something new or film a video on something different, or, you know, I find myself gravitating to like, maybe it'll be a different style of bait, but it's like I'm going to put it on a shaky, or maybe I'll put a different style of craw, but it's still a craw on a jig, right? Or I'm doing the things that I like to do, right? And then I've also learned, like, I've kind of migrated away from things that I used to think like were my thing. Like, I don't throw crankbaits. Like, I probably only thrown 20 crankbaits this whole year, and it used to be my jam. Like, that'd be the first thing I'd go to. So it's just,
well, first of all, it hasn't been working where we're at all, and we were talking to Jim about this earlier before we started the show. But I do want to also add in just that, you know, Bass Geek pointed out, like, picking apart the puzzle is a huge blast. Like, yeah, it is. Like, you should try to figure it out before going to the confidence bait. So I'll say, like, I always have a Ned rig tied on. It is definitely my go-to bait. I try to fish other things before I fish it. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt. I try to throw 10 to 15 casts before I give up.
5 casts.
3, 2, 1, you're done. Get out of here.
Benefit of the doubt, you're trash.
but I mean, I try to go after it for a little while, and then I'm like, okay, let's see if Old Faithful here, you know, works. And then I'm like, okay, you know, and then I'll catch fish. I'm like, there's definitely fish here. And then I'll actually go back and try the other stuff. And I'll say, like, I really want to catch something on XYZ, right? And then just go back and try those things. But I will also say, like, the unfortunate side, and maybe James will agree with this, on being a tackle junkie, being, you know, in love with all this tackle, this plethora of tackle that is in existence, is that you complicate the situation. Whereas, you know, we have, you know, say a lot of bank anglers that are viewers and subscribers who are like, I have 3 tackle boxes. Sweet. It's an undercomplicated situation now where it's like, I have my 3 tackle boxes. I have 4 spinnerbaits in non-various colors. And I just go out, I have my spinnerbait. It's a spinnerbait day. I just throw the spinnerbait I got, the KVD spinnerbait or whatever, cast it out there. Let's see what happens, right? And then they catch fish. They still catch fish. Versus, you know, Tackle Junkie has 89,000 spinnerbaits. And he's like, what spinnerbait am I going to throw today? Right? Now, granted, he understands the situation way better because he's been doing it longer and he's experienced using all of this tackle. It's like, you know, there's this like line, right? Because there's just so much out there. You can really make this situation very complicated. And then, of course, we have the other side chirping about like, oh, bass will lead anything. Lead a shoe if you put a treble hook on it. It's like, bro, come on. Come on now.
If it's a copper true shoe, yeah, they probably will.
If it was copper trues to lead that shoe.
Chartreuse.
I'm just saying, Chartreuse shoes all day. They're gonna eat that all day. I want to call out one question that I thought that was good from the Backlasher. What is one bait that you never reach for? You never reach for this bait. You're like, your buddy's throwing this bait, they're catching fish, and you're like, nah. But like, just this bait, you would never tie it on. You will never fish with it. What is that?
I'm not saying never, but I mean, probably drop shot. Just because, I mean, something to point out here too is I don't really fish clear water at all. You know, one of the main lakes that I fish, I mean, visibility, if it's like 2-3 inches, that's a good day. I mean, most of the time it's like chocolate milk out there. I have zero confidence in any really finesse baits on that lake.
Yep.
That's another reason why I'm always using reaction baits or bigger creature baits or something like that. I'm not a big finesse guy because of where I fish.
That's totally fair. I think that's a really good point because a lot of our lakes, like at minimum, are going to have 1 to 2 foot clarity. So we got decent clarity most of the time. The only issue we really run into is with like the river when it floods.
Right.
That's really it. Or if there's a lake right by the river that's going to flood too. But yeah, most of the time we have much more clarity. So drop shot, that's like go-to rig. Drop shot, Ned rig, always tied on somewhere. And we're going to throw that out there because we know we can catch fish on it, especially if we're struggling. A bait that I never... What's that?
If I'm going to go finesse, for me, it would be like a big shaky head.
Finesse. Quarter ounce, shaky head, 11-inch worm, quarter ounce, shaky head. Got it.
For me, that's finesse. I'm sitting
that is finesse though in dark water. Like
very technically.
I actually like 2 weeks ago I went fishing. Yeah. It hit a nap time, and I grabbed like a 6.5-inch worm on a shaky head, and it's big profile worm. But like when it was that dark, like if you don't have that profile, you're not going to stand out. You will not get found. You will not get found fishing, and I knocked him dead. So I still think that counts as finesse. It's just finesse in that situation.
I mean, in the muddy water, I mean, like I said, if you got to lay down, if you got to stump, I mean, most of the time there's going to be fish on it. But how active are they going to be? That's why I personally would rather just, fly down the banks, throwing a reaction bait, finding the active fish before I decide to slow down and soak a worm.
Oh, totally get it. I would probably do the same thing. I love it. Paul, shush. What would you never reach for, Paul?
Good question. I was actually just thinking about this.
I'm thinking too.
Chartreuse?
No, I like fishing. I like fishing the chartreuse.
He loves it. He just pretends not to. If I'm smacking on it, if I am catching on chartreuse, Paul will hesitate to reach for chartreuse. So I will say, situationally, if I am catching on chartreuse, Paul will be like, "Nah, I'm gonna catch on."
I'll grab a leech. I'll go grab a donkey tail. I'll figure it out. Like I'll go for something else.
Not gonna do it.
And I just want to be really clear. The only reason is I do not like being told what's gonna work. I don't like anyone else telling me how it happens. I want to do it on my own, and I just like I want to do it all by myself. Like I don't like it. I don't like people telling me what deer stand to sit in. I don't like people telling me where they found their turkeys. I don't care. You could tell me where your honey hole is. If I didn't find it, I might as well not, I'm not even going to go. I just don't care. That's my own, that's a me issue.
I love it.
That's a little bit different.
Except for in that situation, Chaz, you found the one situation.
And I did a whole bunch of work. I just realized like I suck at this.
And you still researched it.
Yeah, I absolutely did. The only bait, the bait that I feel like I don't reach for enough would be a 1 ounce plus flipping bait. It just, there's a lot of
like
other
a punch rig or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like I would rather frog, or I would rather throw a jig than like a 1 ounce plus. Like anything below 1 ounce, all the time. It's in the arsenal, but I just really don't reach for those. I definitely haven't done it this year. I'll just say that. I haven't even thought about doing it this year.
Do you have the need for a 1 ounce though? Are you in pretty thick mats and all that, or?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We can find them.
But... No, there's absolutely spots where it's the way to do it. But I would rather frog. I would rather fish the edges with like something else. Like I would rather. There's just a lot of other things I would rather do. The reason is just like there's a lack of confidence in like soaking a worm like you talked about. Fishing stationary jigging, like I have no confidence that that's going to bring me a fish, and I don't have the patience for thinking like jigging in this one spot for 10 seconds and then doing this 150 times. Like it just doesn't sound enjoyable, and so I'm not down. Like I'd rather work. I like working a jig, but like I'm powering the F out of it. Like I'm not gonna sit there and pick apart this spot in this. No, they'll hit a frog, and if they don't, later, nerd.
I love it.
That's an issue for me. I'll recognize that is a gap. Like for me, that's a big gap.
100%. I would say mine is deep cranks. Deep. I'm talking beyond 12 feet. I would say the deepest I fish crankbait wise is 12 feet. So any of those bigger, deeper diving, I had at one point, I think I gave it away. It's a 6 cents, 25 foot mega deep. I was like, never gonna finish this. Never gonna do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say I would. There's so much understanding and education that I think goes into that of just understanding, like picking apart like sonar and structure and knowing where the fish are so that you run it like in the right area. Otherwise, like, what are you doing? So I'd say that is something I'd have to understand, and I'm happy to learn it for sure. I'm happy to learn any of these techniques. Just because it's a no-go rig right now doesn't mean a no-go rig in 2 years. Like, I'd love to learn that stuff. Much like swim baits. It's like, have I caught anything on big swim baits? Nope. Am I going to reach for them? Absolutely. I want to catch on them. I have rigs for them. I have musky rigs. I will throw those. So I'm not going to say I wouldn't reach for them. I just say I have to put myself on the right piece of water on the right day and say I am fishing swim baits or musky or whatever. And like, we got plenty of musky up here. There's no reason for us not to do that. And Paul and I have talked about it. Like, we're gonna definitely set aside a day. I think you're doing it this weekend, right? You're gonna go try fish swim baits. So you guys might get a video from Paul here pretty soon. Well, you will. Either he'll catch fish or not. It's gonna happen.
Well, but, I'm gonna be flipping docks and running big baits. So I'm gonna do like
it's gonna be sweet.
I'm gonna do 2 sides of the planet. I'm gonna be going up into
2 sides of the planet.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on both sides of the poles here. So I'm going up into Canada. I'm going to go up into one of the river systems, and there's a bunch of jetties and stuff. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to see if I can't at the mouth of that creek throw a crank or like some big swim baits for 2 or 3 hours. And then I'll go up and I'll run those same swim baits up into dock areas. And then if that doesn't work, I'll be doing probably a weighted wacky or a weightless wacky, and just flipping some docks and see if there's bass in there. So I'll try and see what I'm missing, and that's how I like to learn a bait, right? Go in with a situation where like if I do this like 5 or 6 times in this one area, I'm going to catch a fish, and then I just need to see if I'm not in the right place, or if they're not eating, or if I suck, right? So that's what I'm gonna be messing around with.
See, with big swim baits, I think you got to be dedicated to it. Like, I think if I were to do it, I would have to leave everything else at home. Yeah, I don't have a ton of confidence in them. I mean, I throw the S Waver like 168, and I don't have a fish on it yet that's bigger than the bait. So I just don't, I don't have confidence in it, and I'll throw it for a bit. I'm like, man, heck with this. Give me my square bill or whatever. So I mean, I think to get good with it and get confidence in it, you would have to only fish that, because you're only fishing for big bites, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like,
but I think
Paul and I talked about it. Like, if we go out and we do that, that would be the play. Like, we would just have that stuff.
You'd have to.
Well, that's why I like the idea of how I'm going to approach it, because I do have confidence in big baits, and I have confidence in square bills. Like, I have confidence in deep running cranks. It's just how it's like kind of my second wave of like entree into fishing is like started with the river, and that's actually where I gravitated next was like cranks deep and like size, like decent size. And like, I do have confidence in slow rolling when I really think that like I'm gonna get something, and part of that is because I fish in water where there's pike and muskie, and like I know I'm gonna get something. Like, they're out there and they're hunting for bait that big, so I don't have any concerns about catching, but I'm not like good at it. Like, I can't tell you like when's the best place to go grab one like I can some other baits. So I'm fine with like experimenting and being like, am I missing fish? Go flip that dock right after, right? Give it 5, go up to the next one, fish it, come float back down. Flip a wacky in there. You're gonna get one of those fish. You're gonna get bumped. I mean, that's just that's fishing. So trying to learn that way is kind of what the goal will be, and that's how I like to learn something new. I need to know if I'm screwing it up or if they're not there, and that's, I think, where if you can put yourself in a situation like sort of trial and error, like to me, like crankbaiting, if you want to learn how to deep crank, you gotta run that deep crank where you think they are, and then you throw the drop shot at them right after it. Because if that fish is there, you're going to get them on a drop shot right after you run something else like big right at them. And then you know one of two things. They were there and they didn't want it, or they were there and I didn't run it right. Like, it's one of those two things. Like, that's like when you watch guys fish with spoons, I don't know how those guys are doing it. That's actually should have been my answer. I never ever throw big spoons ever. And I know that they absolutely knock them dead, and I never use them.
I have like 12 right there. on this wall that I never fish.
And they're never getting wet. No play.
And they're never going to get wet
unless your
again.
basement floods. That's it.
I'm up on a hill, so it's gonna be very difficult for this to flood.
Seriously.
If you guys weren't fishing for bass, what would you be fishing for?
Not even a question. It's not a question.
Turn the tables. Yeah, the answer is pike
pike.
or muskie. So it'd be, pike. Essex toothy critters is our jam. And I feel like we're just that rare breed where it's like you're fishing for bass, you get a pike, and you're like, yay! Like, we're actually pumped about it. So we're like, this is fantastic. I would never be mad to get one. And speaking of not mad, thank you to Greg Lord. Cheers for the super chat, my friend. $5 super chat from Greg Lord. Fishing off the yak in the AM. Awesome. Jelly. Going to try to do some drop shotting. Fantastic. Love to hear it. Any tips for where and how there's an old road bed with drop-offs? I'm a total noob. I like the way you spell noob. Is that how you spell noob? I love it.
In all
Fantastic. In all caps. Noob. I'm going to say it that way. So, yeah, drop shot, fantastic. Love it. Where, how? Paul, you're the drop shot king. You wanna take it?
For me, it's so much about tackle that is going to make you successful. Like, the biggest thing that you can do is stay tight lined. Like, when you cast out and you know it's on the bottom, reel in all your slack until you can feel like when you pull your rod up, you can actually feel whatever's on the bottom. When you get to that situation, now you're fishing a drop shot. Everything you were doing before and after that is worthless.
Nothing.
Like, you have to maintain, like, I imagine like a cable. I want like a steel cable, like that kind of tension, like right to the point where if I move wrong, that bait's moving. Like, I want to be right there. And then and don't feel like you have to instantly set that whenever you feel the tug. You want to give that fish not a full like set the hook like a frog, somewhere in between. You got to give it a little time. And don't jack the jaw. Go ahead and just lift up hard. Don't jack the jaw. If you're fishing a road bed, I would actually probably recommend a crankbait. I feel like that's going to probably do it. But like it is, I don't know where you are, so I don't know the temps and all that. But like a drop shot's going to work very great. The one thing I'll say about a drop shot, I use a drop shot when I think I'm very confident that there's a fish in that spot. It's not a great search bait. It is more of a like, this spot is juice, and then you throw it. Then you're throwing it. Like, and then by spot, I mean not like an acre. I mean like that rock looks like it has a fish nearby. Then you're throwing a drop shot. Those are my probably my two biggest tips.
If you can find structure, if you can get around docks, if you can get around weed lines, if you can get around ledges and drop offs, just put it out there. If it's windy, to Ted's point, go super heavy. Like, you can aggressively fish a drop shot. I can attest to this.
The weight is almost, it's not irrelevant, but like you can fish it. You can fish a half ounce. It's called the Bubba rig when you get those like big old weights down there. You can throw a 1.5 ounce. If that's what it takes to keep that tight line for you, throw that weight. Like, that is actually the determining factor of the weight for me, is the minimum amount that I can get away with, but also keeping a really taut line. Like, that's how I pick my weights.
So like go-to for us would be like 1/8 of an ounce. But if it gets a little bit windy or you get current, you're going like quarter, and then you can work your way up to like a half ounce. So if you've got those weights, throw them out there.
And don't cast, no far casts.
Yeah.
I'm talking
like
30 feet.
You gotta set the hook. Yeah.
30 feet.
Yeah, 30, yeah, sure. 100%. And just use a good drop shot hook specifically. I like the Daiichi standouts. I like the 6 cents drop shot hooks, and then just nose hook like a little paddle tail plastic.
And shark
aka shark deuce, copper truce trick shots. I just posted a video about this. It works really well. So I'm very privy to that. But also, Morning Dawn is never a poor choice.
I am all in. All in. That is my shark deuce, is the Morning Dawn.
Yo, 100%. He has trick shots. Use that trick shots. If you've got, I think their Morning Dawn is Twilight. Fantastic. Copper Truce, fantastic. Any of those colors in there. You good. You'll be fine.
We're getting a little after 9, so I want to hit a couple of these other questions though, because I think they're really good. So, Tackle Junkie, what is a new piece of gear that's non-bait and non-rod and reel related that has impressed or surprised you most this year?
What else is there?
I'm saying, I have to think about this one.
Backpacks, tools, boxes. Like, dude, there's a whole bunch
boring
of
stuff.
No, he's the Tackle Junkie. He's not like the rod and reel junkie,
bro.
I would say the boxes, the plain and wedge boxes are
Yep.
they're pretty slick. All the nice features on them, and just the way you can organize with them, especially like the jig box. That box there is fantastic. I mean, everything's easy to see, all in order, and all that. So
sucks for chatterbaits. You spread them out though.
Yeah.
Sucks for chatterbaits unless you like got to go every other one, and then you can fill about halfway. But dude, I use that and I love that jig box. It is a also if you're gonna store it vertically, you can't do it jig face down. They will all be everywhere. So you got to keep the jig head up. But otherwise, yes, 10 on 10.
But otherwise, stop what you're saying, Paul, because we have a super chat coming in for $4.99 from Leather Stocking Angler. The saying is, if you can't find it, it's because Tackle Junkie has it, and you are correct. So yeah,
that is possible.
If you guys go to your local store and they're like, "Oh, we're out of stock," be like, "Tackle Junkie have it."
Give
Can
me
you
a
just call him?
DM. It's $100.
If you can't
I
find
just
it,
needed
DM
a
Tackle
hook.
Junkie.
$100.
Bro, that is your tackle store where you just go DM me if you can't find it, and then it'll be like
$100.
10% wholesale upsale.
10x. 10x.
That's a good deal.
That's a good deal for you.
10x. Your chatterbait, $160. Thank you very much.
So another question. So what's your favorite bait that you think nobody knows about?
Nobody knows about.
What's your secret? Your secret bait. Tell everyone on this podcast your secret.
Oh, I know. Thanks for saying that, Joe.
I'd say majority of the guys know about them. I don't really think I have anything like super secret.
You do. You have a secret.
Know. You don't think you have a bait that you're like, I use this, I love this, but I don't think like a whole bunch of people know about it or use it.
Yeah, you just want to share with these nerds.
You already told me one. You told me that there's a special edition, actual hard knocker.
Actual hard knock, not a tinny rattle.
Well, I'm sure most guys know about that though. Well, I guess maybe they didn't. You guys didn't know about it, did you?
No,
nope.
I had no idea.
We don't know anything.
That would be the KVD 1.5, the rattling from Bass Pro, and it's the black package here. And they did come out with the hard knocks, which we were kind of discussing earlier. They're really not hard knock. So I'm assuming it really is. I mean, it's way more high pitched than the rattling series or versus any one knocker. But that would be a good one. Yeah, the rattling Bass Pro exclusive. And like I said, it's definitely more of a hard knock compared to the hard knock that was just released here. But I'm assuming, like I said, they made this version here so they can sell a rattling everywhere versus having the exclusive to Bass Pro.
That's fair. That's a fair point. Okay, so what is your secret go-to bait?
I don't have many secrets, man.
No, you share them all.
I'll give you one.
Or rather, your wife shares them all on the channel.
I don't think this is a secret by any stretch. But like the donkey tail is like my secret bait. Like I don't think that nearly enough people know. Yeah, but I don't think enough people know about it, and I don't think it may never get the respect that it deserves. It's like
unfairly.
It's too much fun. Mm-hmm. It is not expensive. They last a long time. They're very durable, and they have a jig head that's matched perfectly for them. And it has provided me in just the last couple of months unlimited
with
fun.
8,000 fish.
Unlimited fun. I mean, unlimited fun.
I would say something that's a little bit different. I do would just be a trailer for a chatterbait. Have you guys ever put a finesse worm on there?
I just did that. Yes. Yeah. Yes. 100%. Yeah. 100% agree.
That's killer,
dude. It is a game changer.
How big? What are we talking? Are we talking like a Ned Fry size, like a 4-inch, or like what?
Like I grab one here.
Did you say Ned Fry?
Or like 4.5, like plasma tail, something like that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that dude is it's money on a chatterbait, man.
It's crazy. It's totally different. So like,
Do you match the color, or are you doing like a different color? So like, if it's white, are you doing like a chartreuse, or if it's white, are you doing like black?
White, they got like normally I put like a pinkish type color, like a fluorescent, like a purplish pinkish. I'll put that with
like
white.
a hot shot, like alternate.
Mm-hmm.
I
I do throw like a purple chatterbait a lot in that dirtier water. So yeah, that June bug on there is pretty hot as well. But
money.
Purple has been that's probably like this year's like deal.
Purple.
It's like purple pink, like has honestly in the river it can just be a cheat code.
Back to those smallies. You know what they like? Purple.
If you were so inclined to catch giant smallies in the river specifically.
If one was so inclined to go fish the river for gigantic smallmouth, they might use purple. I'm just saying.
They reach for the swim baits on the chatterbaits, and I hardly ever put a paddle tail on a chatterbait.
Yeah, so Z-Man makes the razor shads, which kind of changed my mind on that too, because the paddle tail as well as like craws like makes the chatterbait rise. Right, so if you go with like a vertical craw like the Kamikaze Swim On from Big Bite Baits, or you do the razor shads from Z-Man, or you do the finesse worms or trick shots from Z-Man, like it's going to go down, or it's going to sit where you expect the chatterbait to sit, which I thought was huge. Big game changer for sure.
The blade minnow from striking, that's another good one too.
Ooh,
it's got a good profile, but it doesn't give you any lift. You know, it's got the bait fish profile.
I dig it.
See, it's interesting you say that though, because like coming from Canada, when dudes are looking for muskie, like I want a big profile, and I need sometimes you need just more, and by more I mean like thump. And if you're getting a little extra with like one of those like real paddle tails, not like one of those little finesse, but like that like 90 degree, you know what I mean, like straight degree, like it's gonna drag water. Sometimes that's all the difference, like all the difference. But I also know, like I started throwing Senkos as chatterbait trailers, specifically because those guys would be like, the paddle tail's not working, doing the exact opposite, and they would just take that all away. And in dark water, that's a nice profile. Like a Senko, like a shorter Senko, is like a great profile as a chatterbait trailer.
100%. Speaking of Donkey Tail Jr. stuff, tomorrow, you guys, guess what the video is? It's about ultralights. So you're going to get a little how-to office video on ultralights. The BFS rig, the spinning rig, all the above, and some of the stuff that I'm fishing, including the brand new mule fishing horsefly, which I've already caught a lot of fish on. And I'm never giving any to Paul. All right, let's go to the slow rolling thunder round. Let's do a little giveaway here. What do you guys think? It's no longer the lightning round. We literally we changed this for you, James. I just want you to know. Like you are welcome.
Appreciate it.
So yeah, we've been calling it the lightning round for literally 78 episodes. Episode 79, we're just like, this has never been fast. So here we are. You guys know what to do. Yeah, look, you're already doing it. You guys are fantastic. So if you guys are here, and if you're not here, what's wrong with you? But if you might want to invite some friends back in, because they're going to miss out, because we're doing a $25 giveaway to monsterbass.com. So please continue to chat. Type anything you want. Type questions if you want to. If you really want us to see them, super chat us. If you don't care, just chat them. I'll see if I can catch them. And then otherwise, just type chat or whatever you want. And we're going to choose a random winner in a little bit whenever we finish. That's right. Whenever we finish the slow rolling thunder round. So Paul, cue up the questions. Let's do this.
Before we do that, if and when somebody actually wins, we need you to type your email into the chat window and then press enter so it pops up. No one will be able to see it except for us. And then that's how we will reach out to you with that gift card. So just be ready for that. All right.
Someone wrote chat.
Slow rolling thunder round. Question
slow
number
rolling
1.
Thunder.
On your fishing shirt, when you go fishing, you know, your long sleeve sun shirt, do you prefer a hood or no hood? No hood?
No hood.
Oh no!
Yes!
It's like 2 or 3 in a row.
I literally hate the hoods. I hate the hoods. Especially I hate it too. It's like, I hate too when you're trying to take a picture and the hood's all flopping around. It's on you. I can't stand them.
You're like a wannabe Jedi. You're just like, oh yeah,
Chat.
no, absolutely not. Love
Chat,
it.
support me.
Yes,
Support
no,
me with
you
hood
have no
comments
legs
right
to
now.
stand on.
Hood.
No hood's better. All right,
No,
moving on.
Sweatshirts.
go.
I like the hoods. You know, I don't
Yeah,
like regular
sweatshirts, love. No, the
Sweatshirt.
fishing shirt though, nah, get out of here. It's trash. All right, bank. All right, so when bank fishing, what is your shoe of choice?
Well, I get it would depend where I'm at, but most
If you're
of
on
the
the
time,
farm, if you're on the farm pond, what are you rolling?
usually boots, like tall.
All right, so let's say you're on like a bank that's like just average bank, like you don't have to worry about ticks and all that.
flip flops, sandals. You know.
Oh, not Crocs.
No, not. I don't have any Crocs.
Oh,
No, he goes, no, never.
No Crocs for me.
Excuse
Boy.
me, pinky up to this guy. My
Excuse me.
22 trillion rods. I'm way too good to run some Crocs.
None of those peasant shoes. You keep your peasant shoes
I
to
have-
yourself.
And I have nothing against Crocs, but I've never owned a pair of Crocs.
I'll just never look at them
I
ever.
have nothing against Crocs. They're just complete and utter total
They're just
garbage.
trash.
Right.
Good
Nothing against people that wear Crocs. They're just horrible individuals.
Peasants, every one of them.
Peasants.
I love it. So here's one. Do you miss having a fully open truck bed, or are you like truck drawers for life now that you have them?
Oh, for life, dude. Actually, I made a video on that today, actually. But yeah,
Oh, did you? I'm gonna go watch it. I really
Oh
want.
man.
I-
Yep.
I made it today. It won't be up for a couple weeks.
I
But yeah,
really want.
now that I've had
As,
the
as soon as his wife edited it, he was
As
like,
soon as she gets around to it.
she did hold the camera for that video, if that matters, you know.
Oh, she filmed it and she's gonna edit it. Oh god. The credit roll is just her.
It's easier on her.
Producer.
She knows exactly what to edit. You know, you filmed this, so you can do it. You know.
that's how you sold it to
Oh,
her. You were just
bro.
like, you know what? If you film this, you would know exactly what to do.
This is like the 10th. This is the 10th. No, this is the 10th level, dude. This is the 10th
100%,
level.
bro.
Yeah, this is the 10th level of the guy who figured out, like, if you tell your wife, like, no, I always fold the laundry wrong, so you should do it and fold it. Like,
There you
this
go.
is level 10 of that.
No.
I got it down, boys. I got it down.
Have you guys seen, I think it's a TikTok. The TikTok of the guy that's like, it's him and his wife, they're Australian, and she's like, why haven't you done this laundry? And he goes, babe, wait. Here's the deal. If you put it in this hamper and then you leave it there overnight, it gets done. No, hang on, there's more. If you take your dirty dishes and you put them in the sink, the next day they're washed. I don't know how it happens.
So
That's a good one.
brutal.
That's a
Just
classic.
Watching a guy walk off a cliff. Okay. All right. If you could only have one color for all of your plastics, like every single plastic, what color would it be?
Black.
Ooh, yes, we've been talking about this.
Oh man,
Great choice.
That is
Great
a
choice.
that is actually a phenomenal choice. I was actually like thinking about this when I was writing it up, and I was having a real hard time choosing between like a June bug and a black and blue. I was like, it's got it, but it can't be.
Just straight black.
I wasn't gonna go green pumpkin. I kind of thought that might be the answer that everyone would have. I'm with you, man.
Man.
That's a great
But
answer.
you've got that like muddy water, like you said, where you get like, if you had a foot visibility, you'd be like, holy cow, this is insane. So having that black color, that makes a lot of sense. It actually works up here a lot.
Oh, does
We
it really?
fish black a lot. Like, yeah. So and like I said, we've got a couple feet visibility in most bodies of water, like hyper visible. But you throw like a small like the Donkey Tail Junior we were talking about, or Donkey Tail in black, or Ned Rig in black, yoga pants from Z-Man, the leech from Nico Bates, those all work. And then crazy vibrant colors are like the complete opposite end of the spectrum that work. So Morning Dawn, Chartreuse, they always just like pop off. It's great. So good call, dude. Great. I like that choice a lot.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So let's say you were buying your first boat all over again, but you have your experience now, and you know what you know today. Assuming like not money's no object, you have enough money to get what you need. What boat would you get? What type of boat would you get?
Yeah, I mean, are we going like my all-time favorite boat, or is this based on like where I fish? You know what I mean?
No, like just for you. So like like say what you're running right now, and then what type of boat would you get if like you didn't have it and you were gonna go get another one, and you essentially had the options that you have today.
This is like finances are no option, Paul.
No, you can't go
What
out and
I'm
buy a
saying is-
spaceship. Like,
But if I'm saying this, I still
Spaceship.
fish in the same area, like still
yes,
still here.
100%.
Same area.
Yep.
Well, I'm right now. I'm running a Crestliner XF 189, and I would probably still pick the same boat because I picked that boat based on size, and being able to run a smaller motor on it. And with the lakes that I fish, we do have horsepower restrictions around here, so a big glass boats is definitely out of the question. So I would probably stick with the same boat, like I said, just because the overall platform of the boat. I mean, the deck is huge, and like I said, you can still run a bit smaller motor on that boat. I was actually looking at Rangers, I was looking at Tritons and all that, and nobody really wanted to mess with putting a smaller horsepower motor on those boats. To where, like I said, the dealership that I went to in Crestliner, they figured out the right motor for that boat to be able to push it. And like I said, there's only 50 horsepower on that motor, but the main lake or on that boat, but the main lake that I go to is 50 horsepower max. So yeah, I would still stick with the same boat for really mainly those reasons.
Got it. See, I like
I take it.
That's
I mean,
good.
if I was
Dude,
on much bigger water, I'd be going, a big glass boat all day long. But with
Yep.
where I'm fishing, I'd stick with a 10 rig.
like it. All right, last question.
Smart.
I like this one. This one's gonna stick around. I'm not gonna let this one go. What app gets the most use on your phone that's like non-work and non-social media related?
Yeah. Amazon.
That's a good answer.
You know what? I take that back. Probably.
That's work related. You're buying all the tackle on there.
Probably. Well, I guess it would still be Amazon. I guess the music, Amazon Music.
Oh, yeah. See,
Oh,
Yeah, that one.
good answer. I
I was
like
gonna
it.
say probably none of them because he doesn't use a phone. He just doesn't
His
have one.
wife uses. You mean on my wife's phone? I don't know the password.
He goes, hang on. He leaves the room. He's like, honey, what's the app you use?
Hey, babe, what do you use the most? No, not for all my editing. The other one.
No, not for the videos that you edit specifically for my channel.
Not Instagram for posting for me. No.
Oh no! He would know how to play Snake for
Oh.
sure.
That's hilarious.
The Nokia brick. First of all, don't ever knock that phone. First of all, that's a fantastic phone. Everybody had a Nokia brick, right? Everybody.
I had the slide one.
I mean, what survives a zombie apocalypse? What survives the end of the world? Nokia brick phones.
Roaches and a sidekick. Yeah.
Exactly. Nokia brick wins, and you know what else lives after that? Twinkies and Shark Deuce. All right, let's draw a winner. Let's do this thing. Caro Ferg?
Caro Ferg.
Caro Ferg? Look, Nightbot's on it. What's up, Nightbot? Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it for the people, man. Jesus. Like,
All right.
what? Was this Nightbot a person?
Have we missed anybody yet? I
Ferg.
don't think.
Yep. OMG, what the woot? Caro. Yo.
Now we need the air. Yeah, now we need the arrow.
I see
Or
your
the
profile picture.
email.
I know you. Yeah, give us your email and we won't show it. Promise. Look at my hands. They're up here. I'm not going to click anything.
One time Jeff clicked show and like why? But it hasn't happened again since. Because I tell Jeff to like move quickly away from the keyboard.
Listen, you guys. Everybody makes mistakes. Forget about it.
Specifically you.
People don't forget.
No, they don't.
People don't forget.
There it is. We got
We did
it.
it. Yay! We did it. Fish in the southeast. Get out of here. I will show your email because you keep doing this every single week, sir. All right, you guys, we have our victor for the gift card. We're going to issue that gift card if within 3 to 5 business days, or as soon as Rafi from MONSTERBASS gives me the gift card. I'll send it over to you, so don't worry about it. It's coming soon. We haven't missed a single person yet. So, again, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. You're fantastic. But thank you to our guest, Tackle Junkie James, my friend. I had a blast tonight. I hope you had a blast too.
Pleasure, man. Yeah, I loved it, man. It was awesome. Appreciate everyone tuning in too. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being on. We hope to do this again soon. Maybe we'll have to do like a big old round table. I don't know, Paul. Hint, hint. Shall we do something like that?
Been talking about for a long time.
Maybe with some other friends. Maybe with people that were on the show tonight in chat. I don't know. Bass Geek, Debo. You guys want to do this thing? Yeah, we're gonna do it. All right.
This thing on.
Hello. Yeah, maybe we'll do something like that very soon. So yeah, man, awesome. Appreciate you. It was a great show. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff tonight. Hopefully you got super jealous of Tackle Junkie's man cave, because I did, and now I have a lot of work to do because this wall doesn't have any tackle on it. This is ridiculous. What the heck, I gotta do some stuff. Members only. Members only is in 2 weeks, right? Is it
September 14th?
September 14th, y'all. So if you are a member with us on YouTube, and if you're not, come on, do the thing. Click the join now below, and you can watch a video about it, and you can learn about that. But Chartreuse, a level or higher. So Chartreuse and Snorlax crew members, you can join us for a members only chat that is just with you guys. September 14th. It's been a blast every time we've done it. One of them was like 3.5 freaking hours long. So I don't know. We'll go for like ever. But it's a blast. We get to bring you guys on and talk with us. So stay tuned. It's coming up soon, and join if you haven't joined yet. Snorlax crew members, you're getting a t-shirt very soon. We're working on the design right now. Nedrig Nerds is the theme that's coming up. Other than that, like, subscribe, do all the stuff. But Tackle Junkie, more importantly than us, where can they find you? You guys, pay attention. You're going to go follow them right now. What are all your socials, man?
Junkie81 on all my socials: Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
So Tackle Junkie81. I feel like you guys better already have been following him, because I followed him before I started on YouTube. So, I mean, I feel like...
Narrator dialogue. But also, okay. Narrator heading exiting narrator.
Links right now. So go follow Tackle Junkie, please, please, please. Fantastic dude. Amazing content. Go check it out. And we thank you guys for watching again with us on a Thursday. You guys are awesome. I hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you have a great long weekend. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy your families. And we will see you next week on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back with another guest. I don't know who it is, but we'll tell you later, maybe on social media. Paul, do you know who it is off the top of your head?
I'm pretty darn sure it's
BioBait. We got it. BioBaits. I looked at the calendar. Don't worry. I also can do admin things. So BioBait will be with us next week. It's gonna be fun. It's a great dude. And you guys are gonna learn a lot about biodegradable baits. All right, let's go. Chance, take us out.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball, and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care
my feet and forced me down a dead-end street when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within, oh. I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame, oh. Do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day.